What's going on, guys? Sega here, back with another YouTube video. One of my supporters asked me in the comments of my last video to make a peekaboo guide, basically. Um, and one thing I want to say before we get into it is I don't want to make a peekaboo guide, basically detailing all the moves and all the frames of peekaboo because that's been done a million times. So XCV, really good Steve content creator, has a video surrounding that already. Like, there's so many content creators who have done like guides on Peekaboo and all the moves and breaking down all the frames, etc. I just don't want to be lazy and copy content and regurgitate stuff for the sake of posting it. So this video is going to be more of a practical guide on how to apply it in a match. So how to use the stance in a match, different setups, different ways you can use the moves, how to use the moves, and yeah. So just a little disclaimer to anyone hoping this will be a guide on okay, down Peekaboo down one is -12 on block. Like, we're not doing that, bro. Like, if you're watching this video, you should know that like the frames of most of the moves. Like, but if you don't, then check out some of the other content creators. Like I said, watch their video, come back to this one because it will be more of like a practical guide for like battle, like when you're in a match, right? So yeah. All right, let's get into it. Cool. So let's start with the ways you're actually going to enter this stance in a match. The most common way that you're going to enter Peekaboo is by either doing insta Peekaboo. So what you do is you press forward 3, and then yeah, you enter, not forward 3. Sorry, I nearly messed it up. Forward 3 plus 4. Sorry, forward 3 plus 4. You enter the stance. I said forward 3. Forward 3 will give you duck. Forward 3 plus 4 gives you instant Peekaboo. This is really difficult to do when you're kind of like mixing in your pressure. If you're standing still and you press forward 3 plus 4, it's pretty easy. But yeah, instant Peekaboo while moving around, you go into iPad, and this is really good because you can do stuff like instant Peekaboo down 1, instant Peekaboo down forward 1. Why you want to start entering it manually is because it hides the animation. So Steve doesn't have access to really good lows, for example. One of his best lows is hidden behind either full crouch or Peekaboo. So if you want to use, let me turn this off. Let me just reset everything. This is from my last lab session. If you want to use Peekaboo low, so you go into Peekaboo and then do that, or you will have to go into full crouch, which is really telegraphed, right? So yeah, instant Peekaboo is one of the ways. You have Albatross, so if you press 3 plus 4, hold forward, he goes into Peekaboo. Really good for mixing up your opponent. If you're getting them to respect Albatross 2, you can start doing that double spin into Peekaboo, down forward 1, double spin into low, double spin into 1-2, whatever. You can also enter off of a double spin like this, so you spin twice. So what you do is you press 3 plus 4, hold up or down, as you know, and then just hold forward as well, and then bang, you get it. So 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4 to enter Peekaboo manually, and then Albatross is 3 plus 4 minus the forward input. Press down to get a double spin, press forward, bang, he enters the stance. Now, the most common way you enter Peekaboo, I wanted to leave this at the end, is off of a string specifically being 2-1. This is like the cash money Peekaboo entry, the cash money flowchart, because if you land this on hit, as you saw, you're plus 13 and your opponent has to respect whatever you're going to do next. This is really powerful. If they try and mash into this, you can blow them up with Peekaboo 2 or something, which we'll touch on in a later part of the video. But yeah, 2-1, hold forward, enters Peekaboo, really common way. You can also enter 1-2-1, another really common way, really good way to enter Peekaboo safely. You're only -3, if I'm right. Yeah, you're only -3. This gets blocked. -2, huh? If this gets locked, so yeah, you're not going to get punished, right? So another safe way to enter. And then lastly, I want to touch on back 1 down 2 is another way to enter. Be careful using this string in the higher ranks because it's like a junkyard style string, similar to Law's junkyard. A good opponent will look for this. The second they see you do back 1, they're either looking for this or this, so they can kind of like option select both by doing a low parry / duck, right? But yeah, back 1, down 2, hold forward, enters Peekaboo. 0 on hit, so be careful. Oh, +2, excuse me. No, it's not 0. I thought it was plus. I thought it was 0 on hit. Sorry, +2 on hit, which is really good. Meaning your jabs will jail, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, a couple ways to enter the stance over here. These are the main ways I use it in game. I don't really enter Peekaboo in a different manner. You've also got full crouch down forward 1 as well to enter. But usually I just do manual Peekaboo and enter like this, get the low off. But yeah, man. Alright, cool. Let's get into some actual attacks now, yeah? So I'll start off with his jab strings from Peekaboo. And before we get into this, I just want to highlight something, yeah? So when you use this stance, Peekaboo, think of yourself as being -2 all the time, unless you do something like a 2-1 and you're like +13 on hit or like whatever. Like, just if you're going to enter the stance manually, like this, and you're going to attack your opponent, Your fastest option from Peekaboo is your jab, which is I12, meaning it comes out at 12 frames. You're basically -2 24/7. So it's just something to notice, right? This stance can be really awkward to work because you have a lot of highs and you got some lows as well, like down 1, Peekaboo down 2. Don't use his lows, very bad. But it's a really awkward stance to work the mids. You got Pab 2, which is also a high. You have really awkward mids like Peekaboo down forward 1-1 and Pab 1-1-2-1. But yeah, just note that you're basically -2 when you do this, so be very selective with your pressure. Don't just start mashing jabs all the time like this. If you go into Peekaboo and start doing this, a good opponent will either sidestep duck you because these are highs and they don't track, or they're just going to jab you out of this, which is risky because obviously there's Pab 2, sure, but again, that's I14. So yeah, just something I wanted to highlight and notice, but let's get into his jab string. So I'm going to set Kazuya to block. The mix-up you can get off his 1-1-2 and 1-2-1 is like really powerful. Like it makes the stance really good because you can start enforcing that mind game. So Peekaboo jab is -2 on block. 1-2 is 0 on block. We need to note this down. 1-2 being 0 on block is very important, and I'll touch on that. And then 1-2-1 -13. So why his jab strings from Peekaboo are really strong is because this 1-2 starts basically a mini mind game with your opponent. Because it's 0, it means it resets to neutral, and your opponent has to basically play a mini mind game as to what you're going to do next. Now, in your ranked games, if you throw out Peekaboo 1-2, your opponent will probably try and take their turn back after this because some people won't know you're 0, or some people will just try and mash. And then there's a couple options of how you can dismantle them. So I'm just going to set him to punish, and then punishment settings, we'll set Kazuya to do a jab for this instance, so the 1-1-2, yeah. So for example, if Kazuya does 1-1-2, yep, so if I do Pab 1-2 and he does 1-1-2 as a response, you can kill him for this. How? Peekaboo 2, as you saw, guaranteed back 2 follow-up if you time it right. I recommend just mashing back 2 and you get a guaranteed follow-up. If I can get it. As you can see, you get like a mini launcher, mini combo. It's not a combo video, we don't care, but yeah, you can get Pab 2 follow-up. You can also do stuff like this. So Pab up forward 2 beats it high crushes and low crushes, so it beats jabs and it beats low attacks, right? So you can do stuff like this. You can do stuff like this as well. Right weave, you can do stuff like this. Back 3, you can do stuff like this. Left weave. You just basically enforce a mini mind game with your opponent because you're 0, right? So use this as an information finder. A very good string to gain info. If your opponent is jabbing, I've given you a couple options. If he down forward ones, like I said, do a sabaki. If he's punching, if he back dashes, then you just wait. If he sidesteps, you can try and track him with maybe Pab 2 or something again, or you can see what he does if he steps to the right. Do something like Peekaboo down forward 2, left, Peekaboo down forward 1 like this. Like you have options. Basically, this move is like a free check to see how your opponent plays, basically, right? Very good string. Very good mind game you can enforce with your opponent. With that being said, however, about Pab 1-2, another example is if you do, we'll just set him to crouch, right? But yeah, if you do Pab 1-2, for example, and your opponent likes to duck, maybe he's gonna hot duck, you can do like down forward 1 to check as well. Yeah, it's your information finder to touch on it. Now we can start talking about 1-2-1. So finishing this string will leave you at -13. But this string is really powerful because you have a counter hit extension at the end. So in your matches, what you want to do basically, let me just show the counter hit extension. So, oh, he messes it up, lo and behold. There we go. So if that third hit connects you, that last overhand, it's a counter hit and then you get a free launch, as you saw. What you can do is basically play the mind game in your game, or set him to block all. You basically conditioned the hell out of your opponent, right? Set him to block all again, cool. Do a lot of this, show them that this is coming, maybe do 1-2 into down 1, 1-2 into down forward 1 to check. Again, down forward 1's -9, bro. All you do is you lose your turn for this. You're not going to take damage. Nothing's guaranteed. Yoshimitsu can flash you, but we don't care. But we're not here for that. 1-2, 0 on block. Down 1, 1-2, maybe weave with a shoulder. 1-2, and just wait. 1-2, down forward 1, whatever. You see how your opponent plays. If you're meeting someone who is eager to take his turn back, like the second you do 1-2, he's trying to mash some random garbage like 1-1-2. Bro, finish the string, man. Just make sure to delay it. Remember, you can delay the hell out of this, right? Like this, you see? You can delay it. And if you delay it and he presses into it, that happens. So you condition them with a lot of 1-2s. one twos, one twos, one twos, one twos, and then let's say like last round situation, you want to win the round, you've got that bank of knowledge stored, like, all right, cool, this guy's gonna pressure, bro. Let that bitch rip, man. Let that on delay timing, let that bitch rip, bro. If he's gonna press into it, get that full combo, take him to the wall, and win the game, man. Hey. But yeah, that's the mini mind game you can afford to pad a 1-2. So a good opponent will respect the string because they think the launcher's coming. But eventually on autopilot, if he does press into it, yeah, and you rip it, then yeah, you can kill him for it. So yeah, be careful finishing it straight away. You don't want to show them the full string instantly. Like, you want them to be unaware that you're going to finish it, right? You don't want to get into your game, round start, and just do this straight. No crouching block, whoops. A stand block. You don't want to get into your game and first interaction you do is do this. That's wrong. A, you're minus 13. B, he's thinking, all right, he's going to finish the string every time. And he's going to be looking for it. You want to only show them this, or one jab, or two jabs. That's called conditioning your opponent. And then you can get into the finishing the string later. I wanted to include this one. I wasn't originally going to include this, but I'll make a little segment on this because it's a bit of like a forgotten art. Some of the OG Steve players will use this because if you come from Tekken 7, you'll know about this string. And that's Peekaboo 4-2-1. Very good. Let me turn off the punish. Yeah, not that cool. 4-2-1, really good. First hit's minus 13, second hit is +1. A lot of pushback, as you can see, and you actually plus on block. Where this string is dangerous, however, before you get into how to use it, is because you can get interrupted between the first and second hit if your opponent has some matchup knowledge, which I'll demonstrate now. I've got Kazuya set to do 2-2. So if I do the first hit, and I try and finish the string, you can interrupt with your 10 frame or something, right? I think anything up to 14 frames you can interrupt. It will trade with I-14 because I tested it out. You can get Kazuya down 4-2 in between even. So, essentially down 4-2 and it will trade. Oh my god, it even wins. So yeah, anything up to 14 frames, and you can get that off. As you can see, I die. So yeah, anyone with good matchup knowledge, if they know you're going to finish the string, be very careful because they might be looking to interrupt you. But where you would use this string is very good because it actually high crushes. So I'll say him to do jab. We'll do that 1-1 or something, right? So if your opponent's taking his turn back after jabs, with his jabs a lot, so remember, like I said before, if you're enforcing your peekaboo pressure with a lot of jabs, so if you do like the 1-2, for example, into this, you will crush, you kind of slip under, and you can kind of launch him. In heat, this is a full launcher, which I'll show you. So if you land this Peekaboo 4-2, in heat, you would cancel Peekaboo and go for Sonic Fang like I just did. Let me try and demonstrate. It's very difficult to do, as you can see, but worth learning in my opinion. My goodness. Okay, cool. 3-hit combo, 35 damage. What you would do is you would basically heat dash out and launch your opponent. Oh, this is so difficult. There we go. Full combo. Extremely powerful. If you watch a Pakistani Steve, he goes by the name of Numan Chaudhry, Siraj Numan Chaudhry. He uses this at range to kind of check as well. It's only minus 13. Well, I say it's only minus 13. It's minus 13, but if you land at tip range, it'll be quite hard to punish, as you can see. So he might throw this out like from this range to see if his opponent's going to duck. People will be looking for you to finish the string as well. So they might even mash into you, and then you can do that Sabaki from this range or something. But yeah, minus 13. A lot of pushback, but use it mainly to crush highs. So if you have information on someone, you taking their turn back with highs, run your 1-2 on this, go for the launch, go for the full combo or something. Yep, get something like this off. And then yeah, so really underutilized string, has good crushing properties, really long range as well, as you can see. And yeah, man, just mix it into your pressure. One little piece of information I'll give you is be very careful against high-level opponents who sidestep right. So if someone sidesteps right, the delay timing on this string, you can either be parried or you can be stepped. So I'll show you. So if I do 1-2-1, and he sidesteps right, as you can see, if I delay it, whoops, you can see Kazuya will avoid it. So I said left will track, as you can see. So again, whoops. There we go. So why it's important to use the first two jabs to check is to see what he does. If you do 1-2 and he's stepping in this direction, you can act accordingly. Don't do Peekaboo down 4-2, as you can see, because it misses, but yeah. The point is not to autopilot. So if he's stepping this way, if I'm playing a match and I see him stepping this way and he's not ducking, I'll just do this. It's homing, or I'll do this. Down forward 1 will connect, right? Something like that, right? Change the game plan. Don't just default to, oh my god, this and like, yeah. Like, because if he sidesteps right there, he would have avoided it. But yeah, don't default to like pab 1-2 into down forward 2, then you get step launched as you see in it. So yeah, just a little piece of information for you guys to be aware of. Cool. So let's get into Peekaboo 2, which is one of his best options from this stance. Especially like this is really good for dealing with mashes, people who like disrespect your frames. If you do like 2-1 and like they're just disrespecting the hell out of you, Peekaboo 2 is a really good option. Just you can even use it in the neutral as well. So you can set traps, do stuff like down forward 1 into pab 2, stuff like IPAB 2, stuff like this. The reason why I said IPAB there is because this move has immense value if you can perform an instant Peekaboo transition and press 2, so really fast. If you watch a good Steve player from the UK called Full Squad, shout out to Full Squad, he does this on round start a lot. He does down forward 1 into pab 2. Yeah, that's why learning this instant transition into buttons is really good. But yeah, fantastic move. -3 on block, +2 on hit. But this move is really special because it's a counter hit launcher and the Sabaki at the same time. So what that means is, it's basically think of it being a punch parry, and if you counter hit someone, it will also launch them. So very, very powerful move against when used right. If your opponent has a read on it, obviously they can duck because it's a high. So if this loses to like sidestep left duck, which is like the bane of Steve's existence, you can just lose to SSL duck. But yeah, very good move. So for example, for Sekazuyo to punish now, if I do like pab 2 into pab 2, as you can see, pab 2 leaves me -3, and then I just input it again. And he's trying to do a jab at this point, so he's trying to do his fastest option is jab. I'm -3, he's +3. The jab comes out I7 for him, and he's still getting Sabaki. Think of it that way. Pab 2 into pab 2, and he loses. This move is very powerful against mashers, man. So if you're against someone where you're doing 2-1 and he's not respecting it, you're doing 1-2-1, he's not respecting it, like you can see how powerful it is. Down forward 1 will actually lose, however, because you have to do the instant transition, so be careful. Down forward 1 into IPAB is really difficult to do. In a match, this wouldn't work. As you can see, I'm inputting it very fast, but that's why you have to learn the instant Peekaboo transition. So I say this doesn't work, but yeah, you can see it's very hard to do. But yeah, you can just set mini traps with it. So if we set him to down forward 1, for example, change punishment technique, you see, it should be easier to execute. Hey. DF1, bang, Sabaki, back 2 guaranteed, full launcher. Then Sonic fans get the wall or something, I don't know. Then yeah, do your fancy combo. But yeah, very powerful. So you can set some traps in game by doing stuff like you can run up, do single jab, down forward 1, and then like pab 2 like this, or down forward 1 into pab 2, see if he's gonna press DF1, pab 2. Basically condition your opponent that you're gonna mash all the time. So if I start doing DF1 into DF1, a smart opponent will interrupt me this 10 frame jab if he's really smart or something faster. So if I do DF1, and then bang, I rip the pab 2, sorry, that's meant to be our pab 2, you're gonna catch him pressing and you're gonna launch him. So stuff like that, man. You can really start implementing mind games with this against mashers, and it's just a really good button to have in your arsenal. Another way to use it is if you do Peekaboo down 1. Most people in your ranks, I'll touch on this a little bit later, but most people, the second they get hit with this a couple of times and you nip at them, they get frustrated and they like sidestep hop kick, or they might just mash into you and they might just do down forward 1, or you can just do this into this, and a lot of the times you're going to get a counter hit or you're going to parry a punch or something. So yeah, really good button to have. Work it after a low poke, work it after your down forward 1 into this. Just use it raw, like if you have a read on round start, IPAB, very good button against mashers. 2-1, hold forward, Peekaboo 2, very strong, man. We're nearly at the end for you guys that have a short attention span. So yeah, we got two more segments to cover. So I'll speak about his 2 mid strings from Peekaboo. So you have the center block, it's easier to explain. So Steve's mid strings from Peekaboo are down forward 1-1-2-1 and back 1-1-2-1. Now, I just want to save these strings that for my lower rank Steve folk, yeah, be very selective with your usage of these. So I'll show you how to use the strings, obviously, but this one specifically, back 1-1-2-1, well, both of them, you can die for using both of them. So I'll explain why. So we'll start with the down forward 1-1-2-1. So hey, all mid. Why this string is suicide if used wrong is because it's unsafe after the second hit. The first hit is -9, second hit is -10, third hit -11, whoops, Third hit minus 11, last hit minus 13, right? So if you're finishing this in your opponent's face, pause all the time. You're putting yourself on minus 13, and then against someone like Kazuya, that can spell death, right? Back 1-1-2-1 now. Minus 19 if you do the first hit. Launch. The whole cast is sending you to the moon if they know that. Second hit is a high. So again, if someone blocks the first hit of this and they know the matchup, especially in the higher ranks, if like for those of you who want to get to God of Destruction and stuff, yeah, like I can't use this string on like Sephi Black or someone because he's gonna duck launch this every time. They wait for this second hit, they duck, they send you to the moon, obviously. Minus 7 on block if they do block it, however. If you can get them to respect the second hit, you're safe because the last 2 hits of this are mid. So you see it's mid, high, mid, mid, right? Minus 11 free hits. Minus 11 free hits. Whoops. And then minus 3 if you cancel into flicker for the last hit. If not, it's minus 10. I'll show you. So to recap, minus 19, minus 7, high, minus 11, minus 10 non-cancelled into flicker. But if you hold back, it's minus 3. So how to work these strings in your offense? We'll start with the down forward 1 string. So these strings will set into 2 hits and then block. That should be good. 2 hits into standing block, right? Standing. Cool. 1 hit into block actually is better. Perfect. That's what I was looking for. Cool. So these strings have some properties on counter hit and normal hit. So I'll show you. So if you land this down forward 1 on your opponent, as you can see, I've set Kazuya to block after 1 hit, right? So if I do single jab into single jab, he's going to block. If you land down forward 1, both hits are guaranteed on normal hit, okay? So this is very important. So this is why this is a really good mid check. So remember earlier in the video, I spoke about checking with 1-2, yeah? You're checking with this all the time, you're checking. What you would do if you want to see if your opponent is a ducker safely and you don't want to get launched, you would check and do down forward 1. Let's say you do 1-2 into down forward 1 and you're getting beaten out by a faster button, it means he's mashing something faster. Let's say he's doing a jab or something because your down forward 1 is I-15. Let's say he's doing like a jab and it's I-10. You would store that information. Next time you would do 1-2 into Sabaki or something, and then bang, you would catch him pressing, hopefully, right? But yeah, so you would check if he's ducking a down forward 1. If this lands on normal hit, as you saw, both hits are guaranteed. Now, this string does something special on counter hit. It's Uber the label, and we'll get into that, yeah. But on counter hit, what this does is, if you land the second hit on counter hit, the whole string is guaranteed. I'll show you. Again, because you're set to block after 1 hit. But if you land the second hit of this, all guaranteed on CH. As you can see, 48 damage and you get a guaranteed follow-up on the floor, right? I'll show you. Guaranteed follow-up. So you're probably thinking, why is this important, right? So remember, you can delay the hell out of Steve strings in Peekaboo. This one being no different, right? So in a match, you would test your opponent. You would do your Peekaboo 1-2 or something, or you would just go into stance and check with this. Sometimes do 1 hit, see what they do. If it lands, cool. If your opponent's he's trying to take his turn back straight away and he doesn't care, delay it and try and fish with that counter hit. If you get that second hit, if there's that counter hit symbol, which is a mini line, you see that line that came up, right? That said that, boom, there should be a line that you see, right? That's a counter hit indicator. Really easy to hit confirm because you can delay it. Brother, rip the whole string if you land that CH, man. Look how much time you have to confirm the whole thing, bro. You have like 10 years to hit confirm that shit. So if you see that counter hit symbol in game, brother, rip the thing, bro. Let that shit go. 48 damage, yeah. So much damage. And then you get guaranteed down back 2 as well on the floor. Guaranteed down back 2, big damage. So yeah, against the masher, you would basically check this. Is he taking his turn back straight away? Alright, cool. Delay. Fish for the whole thing. Just be very careful, okay, finishing it. Because as I said before, it leaves you a minus 13, right? If you're scared, just do the first 2 hits. 26 damage, +1 on block, resets the situation pretty much, right? Cool. First 2 hits, nice. And the first 2 hits, it blocks are only minus 10 as well. So you don't die for this. You only eat a 10 frame unless you're against a Heihachi Warrior Instinct and you're at the wall, then you're gonna die. But yeah, only minus 10. Alright, cool. Let's get into my least favorite out of the mid string. So we got Peekaboo back 1-1-2-1. And the reason why I have such negative things to say about this is because this string's very niche. It's very niche, meaning situational. You can only really use it well at the wall or against someone that doesn't know the matchup, and that's because the second hit of this string is a high. So at the level I play at, if I do this, I will probably die because people, the second they see Steve get into Peekaboo at the high level, they're just trying to duck launch you, basically, bro. Like, all they care about is you doing this string. They want any opportunity to duck launch you. And the second they see this first hit come out, minus 19, but they just wait for the second hit, basically. Someone that's really, really switched on will punish you and launch you for doing the first hit. But yeah, so you're probably thinking, well, how the hell do I work this into the match, Seeger? How do I use it? So it shares the same properties as the string before. So if I set into one hit or block, one hit or block. Whoops, I didn't do it properly. There we go. Both hits are guaranteed on normal hit, as you can see. So let's say you're in a match and your opponent's ducking a lot and you hit him with the first hit. Sure, cool. You can get both hits guaranteed. Same rules as the other string. Whoops. Same rules as the other string. Second hit onwards, if they counter hit, it pushes them away and the whole string is guaranteed. Now, this is very powerful at the wall, is what I want to show you. So at the wall, if you can get this off at the wall, boy, just boy. Let me try and hit that combo for the one time. Hold on. 100 damage, little B&B lock can still, but yeah, disgusting at the wall. This gets immense value at the wall. The only downside is if you're facing someone that knows the matchup, you're probably never going to land this. You're going to have to pray they don't duck launch you. You can also delay this like the other string, but again, if you delay this, you're giving them more time to just duck launch you. If you delay this, they know that and someone knows the high is coming, this is suicide. But again, if you're facing someone who doesn't give a fuck and they're trying to take their turn back straight away, then play with the delayed timing, delay the hell out of it, see if they press. Remember, like I said though, the first 2 hits are guaranteed. So if you land the first 2 hits and this happens where they block the last hit and you're -3, remember you're in flicker. You can still apply like the flicker mind game after. Do stuff like weave, do stuff like power crush. If they try and take their turn back, left weave 3-1-1. Stuff like that. Flicker 2 if they go for like a slow low. Insta while standing, insta while standing 1. Oh, I can't get it. There we go. Or you could do stuff like flicker jabs, continue pressure, whatever. You're in flicker, so you can start playing a flicker mind game to see what your opponent does. But yeah, very dangerous string, very powerful if used right, very good if you get the wall. And yeah, just be selective with your usage, please. I don't want you to get in your matches and start fucking doing this and ripping the string full and then like, oh my god, Seagull got duck launch, blah blah blah. Yeah, use it to test your opponent. So if you get in a match, do it once at the wall and see if they know, see if they duck, what happened, whatever. If you get duck launch once, disregard it. Just stick to this for your mid string, I'd recommend, because yeah, it's very dangerous against certain enemies. But not least, in the practical Peekaboo guide, the move that I haven't covered, which is really, really important for Steve in a neutral and to dismantle your opponent, is Peekaboo down 1. This doesn't look like much on paper, but this is one of Steve's best lows, if not his best low. I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is hands down his best low. What the hell? This or like maybe single stomp, but like single stomp is I think it's -13. Hold on. -13, yeah, so this -12. So this wins. So yeah, I think it's his best low in his kit. Really good for annoying your opponent. As you can see, it's +2 on hit. And your Peekaboo jabs are I-12, meaning if your opponent tries to like move around or something after being hit with this, you should jail. Oh, that's not what I did. Sidestep left, tracks them. I think sidestep right the second hit only. Yeah, sidestep right the second hit will miss. But if your opponent does something slower than I-10, this was actually win. So let's say your opponent does like a down forward 1, I've already set him to down forward 1, right? And I hit him with this, he will actually lose to my jab because I'm +2, as you can see. So yeah, you're +2, your jabs are I-12, this will win. The only thing you can do to trade with this is be Yoshimitsu and flash, or jab me. If we jab, we will trade because Should I demonstrate? Yeah, I'll demonstrate quick for those who don't believe. The jabs will trade, as you can see, but again, you can just sabaki in a match. Jabs will trade because you're +2 in this I-12. But yeah, if they do anything slower than 10 frame jab, you will beat them out. So yeah, very powerful low. You can check with this and see what they do after. So this is a common flow chart. If your opponent ducks after this, let's say they start crouching, obviously you do down forward 1, you can go for peekaboo down forward 2, you can go peekaboo down forward 1 to check, you can go for peekaboo back 1, 1, 2, 1. Again, you start playing the peekaboo mind game, but very good low for annoying your opponent. I cannot overstate its importance. How you would work this in the neutral, you'll be moving around, you're throwing your down forward 1s. Maybe you're throwing your down 1s just to check. You're just doing your speed stuff, down forward 2, throw this out, see what they do. For the first part, throw this out and backdash. Do not mash after, because you might do this and they might hard crouch, for example, right? You think to yourself, cool, noted. You do this next time when you like sidestep hop kicks or something, like they start getting really irate, cool, noted. It's really good for annoying your opponent and figuring out what to do. How I like to use this is behind some stance pressure. So you can actually cancel peekaboo into all your stances and all your weaves. So as you can see, if I'm in peekaboo, if I press 4, he does right weave, 3 left weave, back 3, and obviously duck forward, right? So if you're facing someone that totals, so after you do peekaboo down 1, they just hold back and they backdash or whatever they don't want to press. You can get really creative with your pressure and start doing stuff like this. Duck cancel, maybe do it again from full crouch. You go for like maybe a duck 2 or pab down 1 into while standing 2-2 delayed, one of my favorite. Repeat the situation if you want. Stuff like that, right? Pab down 1, check with a mid, duck cancel, check with a mid, go for shoulder, pab down 1, shoulder, pab down 1, shoulder, shoryuken, if he's gonna duck, whatever. Stuff like this, this, UCF1, whatever. You can see you can get really creative with the stance pressure, like pab down 1, he's gonna take his side back with a jab, weave, 3-1-1, UCF. You see? So yeah, this low is very good for finding out how your opponent plays, nipping away at them, obviously chipping them out for some health, and most importantly, like you can use it for stance pressure, stuff like this, really annoy your opponent, delay timing, and yeah, you get the point, man. We'll speak about peekaboo down forward 2 as well. So this is a natural normal hitting launcher, very short range though, so you want to use it when you're in your opponent's face, like this. -10 on block, so very flipping, like bro, for the risk reward for this is immense. It's only -10, so you're only going to eat a 1-1-2 from everyone. 10 frame punish, whatever your 10 frame punish is your character. Unless it's like a G-clef or something, but yeah, everyone's 10 frame punish. Most people don't even know this is -10, so start spamming this in your games, man. So if you're ripping like peekaboo down 1s, yeah, and you know your opponent's going to duck, bro, just do this after, bro. Like do 2 in a row, for example. Peekaboo down for 2, full combo. Get the wall safely, fancy combo, whatever. 75 damage, nice. But yeah, use this. I like to use this on a heat engager, so I'll show you how I do it. I either do peekaboo down 1s into this to check if they're gonna duck or something, or if I heat engage, I do empty albatross spin like this into down 4-2. Really good like sequence for you guys to still basically. That's something you can do because people, when you heat engage in this game, if you delay your timing for whatever reason, like people just like panic duck, like they think like maybe you're gonna do this, or like maybe you're gonna run up and stomp, or you're gonna do like the double spin into low. They just get scared, or they try and duck a high. Maybe they think you're gonna like heat engage and do like back 1-2 or something. Like they don't even know why they duck half the time, bro. So if you want to throw out like a mid launcher and you want to fish, land your heat engager, empty spin to scare them a little bit, and then you spin into albatross, spin into peekaboo, sorry, hold forward, down 4-2. And if it lands, congratulations, you just launched him. Really good option. Oh, I messed up the combo, but yeah, you get the point, right? But yeah, that's a really good option you can do. And apart from that, I feel like I've covered everything. Like those are really the main ways you use peekaboo in battle. Like you have some other strings I haven't gone over, like peekaboo or 4-2. Again, really niche button. This high crushes and low crushes. So you would use this if you have a read on like a down jab or something, right? So let me show you. So one of the common ways to stop peekaboo pressure is by down jabbing, if you didn't know. So a lot of you, when you get to high ranks, you're going to meet people where after you do 2-1, they do this. And it gets very annoying to deal with because it beats like nearly every option. I can't jab. I can't down forward 1. I can't down 1. I can't peekaboo 2. I can't peekaboo down forward 2. I can back sway blow. but that's like, we never use this string, so we never use this button, sorry. What else have I missed? 2-1. I can't do peekaboo down 2. What else? I can't. I've done down 4-2. You just can't play the game if you meet someone that does this. Like, you can see, like, the down jab basically option selects everything in Steve's kit except for up 4-2. So again, if you have a read, I'll show you how to beat the down jab in 2 ways. So you can do up 4-2, which is ballsy, like this. As you can see, it wins. Full combo. Or you can weave, which is a safer way. Shout out Bams, mon frère, si t'écoutes, merci. My brother, thank you. Bam showed me this. I didn't even know you could do this. 2-1, right weave, boom, you beat the down jab. 2-1, left weave, boom, you beat the down jab. Very powerful at the wall against people that panic down jab at the wall. So let's say you're pressuring the hell out of your opponent, you've got them against the wall, you're ripping your QCF1s, you're doing all your scary buttons, you're doing this, you're doing all your running 2 pressure, and he's just down jabbing right, you're scaring in a couple dash blocks, QCF1 or whatever. You do your 2-1, he down jabs, and he dies. And the wall is really good, right? Other side for right weave as well. Weave, go for the 2 option, full combo. Yeah, so you can beat the down jab summons with weave or peekaboo up 4-2. So that's where you would use it. And obviously, if you have someone that jabs as well, because they're high crushes. So this is Kazuya's 1-1-2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay, yeah. So if you have information, he's going to take his turn back with a high, and you're feeling brave, let it rip. You see it wins, right? It crushes every jab and every low. So yeah, that's already used up 4-2. Peekaboo down 2, you wouldn't really use. It's -12 and it's I-28, very slow low. So anyone with the reaction speed faster than a grandma will block and punish you. So don't use this. The only time I use this is if Yoshimitsu is standing and he's charging up Poison Breath. You do this from range because it travels. You go under and you counter hit him. That's the only time. And yeah, man, that's really it. Like, that's how I'd use Peekaboo in a match. So to recap very quickly before I cut it off, you use your 1-2s to check. Stop punching me, sir. That's not very nice. You use your jabs to check. Your 0 on block. Is he gonna mash a lot? Let the full string rip. Delay timing, remember. Play with the jab strings. Is he gonna duck? Check with down forward 1. Is he gonna duck? Rip down forward 2. It's only -10. Remember the iPad. Check with this low from time to time. If you're in full crouch, check with the low. You can do a mini mix up while standing 1 as well, so they won't know what's coming while standing 1. Check with the low. 1-2. Check with the low. Is he mashing and taking his turn back? Punch the back E to check him. Is he ducking a lot again? Peekaboo up 4-2. Check with down 4-2. Whatever. You know what I mean? The bread and butter comes from the jabs, in my opinion, or the down forward 1 check to see what he does, right? But yeah, that's basically how I work it in game. It's a very powerful string at dismantling your opponent. You don't have to go string heavy. One thing I see is people stay in this stance for too long, so they enter it and they just do this into this into this into this, and then eventually the opponent makes a read where they like sidewalk them to the right or something and then blow them up. If you want to leave the stance, just like weave or something, or what I do, just press down back and then start backdashing. Just leave the stance, man. You don't have to commit. Like, I usually throw a couple checks out, see what he does. Maybe single jab, down forward 1, down 1, and I leave. Maybe down forward 1, down forward 1. Might duck cancel to scare him. Down 1, tab 2, down forward 1, down forward 1. While standing 1, exit. Down 1, duck 2, down 1, down forward 1, weave, exit. You see what I'm saying? Down 1, extended duck. Down 1, down forward 1, 1, back 1, 1, 2, 1, test him at the wall while standing 1. I'm free, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, get creative with how you enter, get creative with how you exit. Use the powerful buttons listed in the video, like the Sabaki, like the down forward 1 to check. But when you start clipping someone with this string or with this stance, you'll see it all start to click and it will all be really good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is more of like a comprehensive, like, I'd say like a guide in battle to how to use Peekaboo. Like I said, didn't want to cover the whole stance and all the frames and all the options. It's been done a lot, but yeah, thank you so much for the support on this channel as well. We're at like 250 subs. Really appreciate it, man. Just trying to share the knowledge on what I know on Steve and help someone out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments and what you guys want to see next. Yeah, but yeah, thanks, man. Love, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.